My name is Norman Witte, and welcome everybody to the TEDxDetroit. You guys ever remember when this was Cobo Hall and all the great concerts we saw here? So, 2 years ago, October 15th actually, in 2011, I found myself living here in this city, moved down here, had no job. I had been unemployed for a year. I was living in a 270 square foot studio apartment just a couple blocks from here. And my car died a short while after I moved down here, and I had no way to replace it. So I knew I had to get around. I knew I had to figure out how to make this work without a car. So that's a unique situation in Detroit. Any other city in the world, it's like no big deal. But here, the culture revolves around automobiles. It's not just a logistical thing. It's a social challenge as well. So to get around the city of Detroit without a car, you rely on the 3 Bs. The 3 Bs are bikes, buses, and bumming rides. Whoops. Bumming rides is a funny connotation, because what it does is it insinuates that because you don't own a car, you're a bum. And really what it is, it's carpooling. It's sharing the load. You know, it's anytime you have more than one person in a car, that's good for the environment. It's good for everybody. But you know, you have to sometimes do favors for people, chip in for gas, or maybe somebody just wants some company on the ride. But that's usually a last resort in Detroit because, you know, you're a bum. The bus system here is pretty awful. They're very unreliable. The buses skip routes. All the buses shut off at midnight. So if you're up in Ferndale and you're having a good time at DIY or Pig and Whiskey and you want to get home, you got to get on the bus by 12 o'clock or your stagecoach turns into a pumpkin. Then you get on then the biking is my preferred method of travel around the city. There's not a lot of bike lanes. There's a lot of hostility towards cyclists. It can be a dangerous situation as well. So what I've learned while riding my car or riding on my bike in the city is that people have a false sense of security when they're in their car, and it causes them to have this confidence, and they use their vehicle as a weapon. Whether they use that against other drivers or against cyclists. I've been attacked by motorists on the highway, on the roads, and you see motorists, they have this reaction to cyclists on the road. They don't want to share the road with cyclists, and they have this reaction like when a dog sees a squirrel, and it can be pretty volatile. So, but there's also a lot of ignorance out there that people don't think that they have to share the road with cyclists. I had someone yell at me one time at Gratiot. He said, "You will get a ticket in the city of Detroit for riding your bike on the street." And you realize that there's just not enough education out there. People don't realize that they have to share the roads. And they also don't realize that it's safer for us to be on the roads and following the rules of the road just like everybody else than riding on the sidewalk, where statistically you're more likely to get in an accident. These are 8 situations where common accidents occur from cycling on the sidewalks. This study was done in Sweden in the 80s, and it showed that you're statistically safer to ride your bike on the street than you are on the sidewalk. The lack of infrastructure in Detroit is causing talent flight. We're training the world's workforce, and what happens is you have the college grad, and your average college grad graduates with a mound of debt, and they got to work 3 internships to get an entry-level job, and they have the burden of car ownership on top of that. So what are they going to do when they graduate college? They're going to move to Portland or Chicago or New York, or they're going to go somewhere where they don't have to have a car to get around. They're going to build their career up. Then maybe someday they'll be able to afford a car. Will they come back to Michigan? Maybe, but not all of them will. Every year we started at Crain's Detroit, we started 20 in their 20s in 2006. Every year we consistently hear from all of the honorees that their biggest concern in Detroit is transit. So I work at Crain's. It's great. They really take care of me with my lifestyle. I get to work every day. The security guards greet me with a smile. They go out of their way to make sure that I'm safe. We have bike racks in safe areas, and we have a gym and a shower. So I get to work, I shower. That's like my morning workout routine, you know. I get there and I shower and I get dressed and I sit down behind my desk, and I feel a lot better than I used to when I sat in my car for 40 minutes in rush hour traffic. And then there's, you know, shopping, grocery shopping. I have these pannier bags on my bike. I can fit 2 weeks worth of groceries in them, and it's great. Plus, we can carry everything on our bike, from, you know, our groceries to some barbecue supplies to surfboards. And then it's just fun, you know. You get together with a bunch of people. You start out with 2 or 3 people riding your bike. Next thing you know, you're playing real-life Katamari. You got, you know, this group of bikers and this group of cyclists, and everybody gets together. We find a barbecue, we find a bonfire, find a bar to go to, whatever. Have a good time. It's always fun. And I commute in the winter by bike as well. So last winter, instead of buying a car, I went to Moose Jaw and I bought a bunch of winter gear to get through the winter, and I got snow tires for my bike, Gore-Tex and base layers and a snowboarding helmet and waterproof boots and all that stuff. So made it through the winter, no problems. Actually, it was quite exhilarating. And then you have your joy rides, you have your critical mass, you've got slow ride, slow roll, you have Tour Detroit, and these are all these really great opportunities to bring people down to the city, explore new places that they haven't seen before, meet new friends, and promote positivity about Detroit, show them all the beautiful things that they can see. So that's how it is to live in Detroit. Ryan Gosling will find you attractive if you're on a bike. You will meet great new people. You'll find wonderful adventure, and I highly recommend everybody, if you can, give it a shot for a year. Try it out and see how you like it. Thank you very much.